Hello and welcome back to the Wisdom of Time. Today, we're embarking on an extraordinary journey back in time, stepping onto the sun-scorched sands of Egypt to uncover the majestic echoes of its ancient temples. These aren't just ruins of stone. They are cosmic engines, libraries of knowledge, and gateways to eternity, built by a civilization that seemed to touch the very fabric of the divine. So grab your virtual explorer's hat, and let's delve into the secrets whispered by the hieroglyphs. Our first stop is the awe-inspiring Karnak Temple complex in Luxor. Picture this, a sprawling city of temples, pylons, and obelisks, constructed over 2,000 years. As we walk through the great Hypostyle hall, we are dwarfed by 134 colossal columns, each reaching towards the heavens like a forest of stone. These aren't just for support, they represent a papyrus marsh, symbolizing the creation of the world from the primordial waters. The ancient Egyptians didn't just build, they encoded their entire cosmology into the architecture. Every carving tells a story of pharaohs, gods, and epic battles, a testament to a belief system where the earthly and the divine were inextricably linked. Now, let's journey south along the Nile to the Temple of Luxor. What's fascinating here is its unique alignment. Unlike other temples oriented to the east-west axis of the sun, Luxor Temple is slightly askew. Why? It was designed to align with Karnak, nearly 2 miles away, connected by the magnificent avenue of sphinxes. Imagine the grand processions during the Opet festival, when the statues of the gods traveled from Karnak to Luxor to celebrate their divine union. This temple was a stage for the most important religious festival of the year, a vibrant spectacle of music, dance, and reverence that reaffirmed the pharaoh's divine right to rule and regenerated the cosmos itself. But the secrets of these temples go far beyond grand festivals. Let's look closer at the walls. The hieroglyphs and reliefs are not just decoration, they are a form of magic. The Egyptians believed that what was depicted in stone became real in the afterlife. By carving images of offerings, they ensured the deceased would have eternal sustenance. By illustrating a pharaoh's victory, they guaranteed his power for eternity. The temple walls were living documents, a powerful tool to shape reality and ensure the continuity of Ma'at, the cosmic order of truth, balance, and justice. Let's explore the hidden chambers, the sanctuaries that were off-limits to all but the highest priests and the pharaoh. Deep within the temple's heart, in complete darkness, rested the statue of the god. This was the most sacred space, the place where the divine being's spirit resided. Each day, priests performed elaborate rituals, waking the god's statue, cleaning it, clothing it in fine linen, and presenting it with food and drink. This daily ceremony was vital. It was believed that these rites sustained the gods, and in turn, the gods sustained Egypt and the entire universe. The temple was a machine for maintaining cosmic balance. Moving on, we arrive at the stunning temple of Hatshepsut at Deir el-Bahari. Carved directly into a cliff face, its terraced design is a masterpiece of architectural harmony. Hatshepsut, one of history's most powerful female pharaohs, used this temple to legitimize her reign. The reliefs here don't just show battles, they narrate her divine birth, claiming the god Amun as her father. They also depict a groundbreaking trade expedition to the land of Punt, showcasing her economic prowess. This temple is a brilliant piece of political propaganda, demonstrating that these sacred structures were also powerful tools for earthly ambition. Another fascinating aspect is the astronomical alignment of these temples. Many, like the temple at Abu Simbel, were precisely engineered so that on specific days of the year, the sun's rays would penetrate the darkness and illuminate the statues of the gods within the inner sanctuary. For Abu Simbel, this happens twice a year, once on the anniversary of Ramesses II's birth and once on his coronation day. This wasn't a coincidence, it was a celestial announcement. a divine sign that reinforced the pharaoh's connection to the sun god. Ra. The ancient builders were not just architects, they were master astronomers. But what about the people who built these monumental structures? It's a common misconception that they were built by slaves. In reality, the construction was carried out by skilled artisans, masons, and laborers who were well-fed, housed, and paid for their work. Excavations of the workers' village near the Giza pyramids reveal bakeries, breweries, and medical facilities. These workers took immense pride in their craft, often leaving their own graffiti on the stones, calling themselves the drunkards of Menkaure, or the friends of Khufu. They were not slaves in chains, but dedicated builders creating their legacy. The knowledge encoded within these temples has influenced civilizations for millennia. The Greeks, who were in awe of Egyptian wisdom, studied here. Philosophers like Pythagoras and Plato are said to have traveled to Egypt, and their ideas on geometry, mathematics, and the soul show clear Egyptian influence. The concept of a sacred space, the use of columns, and the integration of art and architecture can be traced from these Nile Valley temples all the way to the cathedrals of Europe and the government buildings of today. The echoes of ancient Egypt are still shaping our world. As we stand here amidst these colossal ruins, we can't help but feel a profound sense of connection to the past. These temples were built to last for eternity, and in many ways, they have. They are a powerful reminder of human ingenuity, our quest for meaning, and our deep-seated need to connect with something greater than ourselves. They teach us that even in stone, a culture's spirit can live on, continuing to inspire and mystify us thousands of years later. The majestic echoes of ancient Egypt are a timeless lesson from the wisdom of time. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey. If you enjoyed uncovering these ancient secrets, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the Wisdom of Time for more adventures into our shared past. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next exploration. Until next time, stay curious. Hello, and welcome back to the Wisdom of Time, where we journey through the corridors of history to uncover the stories that shaped our world. Today, we're embarking on an extraordinary adventure, trading our everyday lives for the sun-drenched landscapes of ancient Egypt. We're going beyond the famous pyramids to explore something just as monumental, something that echoes with the whispers of pharaohs, priests, and gods, the magnificent temples of the Nile. Picture this: towering gateways covered in intricate carvings, vast courtyards open to the brilliant blue sky, and forests of colossal pillars that make you feel impossibly small. These weren't just buildings. They were the earthly homes of the gods, the centers of the universe for the ancient Egyptians. They were cosmic engines designed to maintain Ma'at, the divine order and balance of all creation. From the moment you passed through the massive pylon gates, you were leaving the mortal world and entering a sacred divine realm. Our journey begins at Karnak, in the heart of ancient Thebes, modern-day Luxor. This isn't just one temple, it's a sprawling complex that grew over 2,000 years. Imagine generations of pharaohs, from the Middle Kingdom to the Ptolemaic period, each adding their own chapels, obelisks, and shrines. It's like a history book written in stone. The most breathtaking part? The great Hypostyle Hall. 134 gigantic columns arranged in 16 rows stretched towards the heavens. Walking through them is like wandering through a petrified papyrus forest. The carvings on these columns aren't just decoration. They're stories of pharaohs communing with the gods, making offerings, and celebrating military victories. It was here that the most sacred rituals took place, performed by the high priest and the pharaoh himself, ensuring the sun would rise each day and the Nile would flood its banks, bringing life to the desert. Just a short, majestic avenue of sphinxes away lies Luxor Temple. While Karnak was the grand domain of the god Amun-Ra, Luxor Temple was dedicated to the Opet festival. This was an annual celebration where the statues of the gods from Karnak were carried in a grand procession to Luxor Temple. This ritual was a powerful symbol of rebirth and regeneration, not just for the gods, but for the pharaoh himself, reaffirming his divine right to rule. What makes Luxor Temple so unique is its architectural journey through time. You can see the work of Amenhotep III, the additions by Rameses the Great, a chapel built by Alexander the Great, a Roman sanctuary, and even the Abu Haggag Mosque, which is still in use today. It's a living testament to Egypt's layered and enduring history. Now let's travel south along the Nile to a temple that was almost lost to the waters of time, Abu Simbel. Carved directly into a mountainside by the legendary Rameses II, this temple is an ultimate statement of power and ego. 4 colossal statues of Rameses, each over 65 feet tall, guard the entrance, staring eternally into the rising sun. They were designed to intimidate and impress anyone approaching Egypt from the southern frontier of Nubia. But the real magic happens inside. Twice a year, on February 22nd and October 22nd, something incredible occurs. The first rays of the morning sun penetrate the deep, dark sanctuary over 200 feet inside the mountain to illuminate the statues of 3 of the 4 seated gods. The one god that remains in shadow, Ptah, the god of darkness and the underworld. This solar alignment wasn't an accident. It was a feat of precise astronomical and engineering genius designed to celebrate the pharaoh's birthday and coronation day. It's a perfect fusion of architecture and nature. But how did they build these wonders without modern technology? The answer lies in simple tools, incredible manpower, and ingenious engineering. Workers used copper chisels and stone hammers to quarry massive blocks of sandstone and granite. These blocks, weighing many tons, were then transported on wooden sledges over wet sand to reduce friction and loaded onto barges to be floated down the Nile. To lift them into place, they built enormous earthen ramps. It was a slow, painstaking process that required immense organization and a deep, collective faith. Every worker, from the quarryman to the sculptor, believed they were contributing to the stability of the cosmos. The carvings that cover every inch of these temples are a visual language, a sacred hieroglyphic library. They depict complex theological ideas, mythological stories, and detailed instructions for rituals. You'll see the pharaoh smiting his enemies, a symbolic act of defeating chaos. You'll find images of gods giving the Ankh, the symbol of life, to the king. There are detailed recipes for creating sacred perfumes and incense, and calendars marking important festivals. For the 99% of Egyptians who couldn't read, these images were their connection to the divine, a constant reminder of the cosmic order and the pharaoh's role as the intermediary between humanity and the gods. The priests who served in these temples were some of the most educated and powerful people in society. They weren't just religious figures. They were astronomers, doctors, scribes, and administrators. They managed the vast temple estates, which owned huge tracts of farmland and employed thousands of people. They observed the stars to create the world's first 365-day calendar. The daily rituals they performed were meticulous and unchanging. At dawn, they would break the clay seal on the sanctuary, awaken the cult statue of the god with chants, wash and dress it in fine linen, adorn it with jewels, and offer it food and drink. These rituals were believed to literally sustain the gods and, in turn, the entire world. As centuries passed, Egypt was ruled by Persians, Greeks, and Romans. New religions like Christianity and later Islam rose to prominence. The ancient temples fell silent. Their rituals ceased, their halls were abandoned, and they were gradually buried by the shifting sands of the desert. For over 1,000 years, their secrets lay hidden, their majesty forgotten, becoming the stuff of local legends. It wasn't until the 19th century, with the decipherment of hieroglyphs and the birth of modern Egyptology, that these majestic echoes began to speak to us once more. Today, these temples are not just tourist attractions. They are a profound connection to a civilization that shaped human history. They teach us about faith, power, art, and science. They show us a worldview where the sacred was woven into the fabric of daily life and where humanity sought to build an eternal connection with the cosmos. Standing within these ancient walls, you can't help but feel the weight of millennia, the presence of the past, and the enduring wisdom of a time when people dared to build for eternity. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey to the temples of ancient Egypt. If you were inspired by the majesty and mystery of these ancient wonders, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the Wisdom of Time for more adventures into our shared past. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring.